Welcome back to SMS Foundation. We are going to continue with our further maths question, NECO past questions 2021. So this is question 5B. Question 5B says, in a class of 42 students consisting of 19 boys, two students are to be chosen at random. Find the probability that the two students selected are the same sex, opposite sex, but with a boy chosen first. Now, this is a good probability question. So I come with solution. Now, I have to first list out the given parameters. Here, I am giving total students of 42. Total students. Total students equal to 42. Now, out of 42, we have 19 boys. So I say boys equal to 19. Now, out of 42, I have to subtract from 19 from 42 to know the number of girls. That means girls will be equal to 42 minus 19, and that's 23. So that's 23. So that means we have 23 girls in that class. Now, the first question is saying find. Now, they said they pick two students at random. We are asked to find the probability that the two students selected are of the same sex. So we go straight up to question 5A, 5BI. So the probability of the same sex. Probability of same sex. If we have same sex, that means we have to consider the fact that the two students selected can either be boy and boy or girl and girl. Maybe the first is a boy and the second is a boy. Or the first is a girl and the second is a girl. That's the meaning of probability of same sex. So we can represent this simply by saying probability of boys 1, boys 2, or probability of girls 1, girls 2. So in a more mathematical way, we can say that we can write this as probability of B1 intersection B2, where B1 represents that the first is a boy and the second is a boy. Or now all can mean union. Union of probability of boy, girls 1 intersection girls 2. So this is in a more mathematical way. And we know that these two events, this probability of selecting boy and boy, they are two mutually exclusive events. So that means our definition is allowed and is accepted. Now, probability, we are going to view our intersection as product. So that means this will give us probability of boys first times probability of boys second. And this union is going to mean plus probability of girls first times probability of girls second. So the next thing is to interpret what we have. Let's keep this formula. Let's keep it. We can call this equation 1. Let's keep it. Now, I will now find probability that the first is a boy. Probability that probability that the first is a boy. That will be total number of boys all over total number of all the students. That's number of boys all over number of all the students, which is 19 all over 42. 19 over 42. So if the first is a boy and the second is also a boy, that means the total number of boys will reduce by 1, and the total number of total number of all the students will reduce by 1. Reason? Because this kind of selection will be without replacement. So anytime they don't state it, we have to assume that the selection is without replacement. So that means probability that the second is a boy is going to be taken as 18 all over 41. 18 all over 41. Now, we have to satisfy this expression to probability that the first is a girl. So, we have to consider the total number of girls, which is 23, all over total number of all the students, which is 42. Then, probability that the second is also a girl, that's for PG2. That means the total number of girls will reduce by 1, which will give me 22 all over 41. Now, I will now combine everything. Let's substitute all what we have here in our formula. That means probability of same sex will be equal to this formula, PB1 times PB2 plus PG1 times PG2. So we substitute all what we have. PB1 here is 19 over 42 times PG2, which is PB2, excuse me, which is 18 all over 41, plus PG1, which is 23 all over 42 times probability that the second is a girl, which is 22 all over 41. Now we have to compute this. Let's multiply the top by the top and the bottom by the bottom. Then we add the fractions and get our answer. 19 over 18. We have to consider that 19 over 18 is going to give us 19. Let's use our calculator. 19 over 18. That will give us 342. 342 all over 42 times 41. 42 times 41. That will give me 1722 plus 23 times 22. That's the next thing. 23 times 22. That will give me 506. 506 all over the same thing, 1722. Now, we have to add our top by the bottom. Let's confirm some things. 42 times 41 as 172 good. So we have to add our numerators together since the denominators are the same. So we can add our numerators straight up. That's 342 plus 506, which will give me 848. That's 848 all over 1722. So this is our answer. We can leave our answer as fraction in the lowest term, or we should convert to decimal. So let's convert to decimal. 722, 1722 divided by 848 divided by 1722, which is equal to 0.4. That's this end the A part, the Roman figure 1 part of the question, which is probability of the same sex. Now, we move straight up to the second question, which is probability of opposite sex. Probability of opposite sex, Roman figure 2. Probability that the two students selected as random are of opposite sex. Now, probability of opposite sex, let's represent it, opposite sex will be equal to, now we have to understand one thing, probability of opposite sex. This means that either the first is a boy and the second is a girl. They must not be of the same sex. or the first is a girl and the second is a boy. But the question has said, but with a boy choosing first. That means we have a restriction here. So we have to consider that boy is choosing first. That means this can be taken as probability of B1 intersection G2. As probability that boy is picked first and probability that girl is choosing second. So that's this can be taken as probability of boys first times probability of girls choosing second. So probability of boy pick first. That's total number of boys, which is 19, all over total number of all the students, which is 42. At 19 all over 42 times probability of girls choosing second. Note that the total number of students will reduce by 1, while the total number of girls still remain the same. That's 23 all over 41. Since the number of students has reduced, since you have picked 1 from here, so that means the total number of students will have reduced. So we are considering this reduce because the selection is without replacement. If it is with replacement, the total number will still remain the same. So 19 times 23 is what we have to consider now. 19 times 23. That gives us 437. 437 divided by 42 times 41. That gives us, we already have the result here, 1722. Now, we can leave our answer in fraction or we convert to decimal. So that's 437 divided by 1722. That gives us 0.25. So, to 2 decimal place. That's the 2 decimal place. That's our final answer. So, this is the end of question 5 generally. Kindly like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are moving straight up to the next question. Join us in the next video. Thank you very much. We are done.